Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to another trading session with the In the Zone Trader. So happy to have you guys on here. How is everybody doing? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the NQ daily chart, shall we? Pretty tight range yesterday, not a lot of movement. We are underneath the 21 EMA at the moment. We are in the middle of this range and this bigger wedge that I've outlined here. Let me remark the new prior all-time high. Today could be a very choppy day. Just not, we're in the middle of the range, so we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll get some good trades. Let's look at the ES. ES is more interesting because we are bumping up against the downward trend line now on the daily. We have this inverted hammer look here. We're underneath the 21 EMA. So this looks a lot more bearish to the downside. Again, anything could happen. Let's see what kind of news we have today. We have news right out of the gate at 9:45. Flash manufacturing PMI and flash services PMI. Both red. So that might make the open a little bit tricky as people are waiting to hear on the news at 9:45. And then we have 10 o'clock news, revised U of M, consumer sentiment, and inflation expectations. That potentially move the market as well at 10 o'clock, but they're orange and yellow, whereas the 9:45 news is red. Okay. We have about a little over 5 minutes before market opens. We are in this tighter range here on the 800 tick chart. I think the one thing I forgot to do was mark yesterday's close, which I'll do right now. And that's a 1700 close, and then the 1600 close is right here. Okay. Make sure I have that right. Yep. Okay. So I don't really seeing us opening up with any sort of gap fill. I mean, it's very small gap, so maybe we go up, fill the gap right where VWAP is anyway, and come back down. And again, the news at 9:45 and at 10 o'clock could change the trajectory of the market as well. Okay, we have about a little over 3 minutes here. let's look at the 5-minute real quick. We are starting to break above the 21 EMA on the 5-minute. We have sort of this look as well. We did trigger to the downside with the 828 candle. We haven't quite hit the goal. We were 6 or 7 points away. We do have this higher low here, so I've marked out this wedge that we're currently in right now. Okay, our actual bullish signal was right here. Okay, we have a little over a minute now. Okay, the market just opened. We just hit view up like I anticipated. Probably gonna look to close this gap right there. Okay, we're in bullish here. Okay, we got about maybe 7 or 8 points on that one. Might try it again. Okay, we got that one. Switching groups real quick. do have a lower high up here. This is the bearish signal up here. There you go. It hit the bearish target. Another bearish signal here. But I can't take it because of the standard deviation. We would have gotten stopped out anyway. I'm trying to be better about my trade entries. I can't take it bullish here either because we have the EMAs in the way. So just going to pass on this trigger here. We also got a bearish signal here as well, simultaneously. Okay, the bearish trade almost hit target. Okay, it did. We have another bearish signal here, but we have standard deviation in the way, so I'm gonna pass on this one. This is a bullish signal here, but we have 600 in the way, 8 EMA in the way, so okay, the bullish trade worked, the bearish trade stopped out. Bearish signal up here from the rejection of VWAP. Just hit target. Okay, we're really starting to break down here. I'm not sure I want to take this bearish. We're at the bottom of this range here. So, yeah. We did trigger bullish, but we have the EMA in the way. Give another trend line that looks like this now. We have another bear signal here as well. We have a bit of mixed signaling at the moment. We also have news in 6 minutes, right? Big news. We talked about it this morning. So price action could be a little choppy until then. Okay, we're still in this bullish trade here. Hasn't stopped out. And now it looks like it wants to hit target. There it is. Okay, we have about 2 minutes before the news. I would imagine the news will get us out of this range. Oh, Tyler, you have no idea. I hear this music every day now, and I hear it when I go to sleep. Because not only am I streaming it for a couple of hours a day, I am rewatching my tape to see if I can improve. So you can imagine the amount of hours. I try to create new music. I'm adding more tracks every single day so that it doesn't get repetitive. But sometimes the same tracks will play over and over and over. Okay, we have a little under a minute before the news. We did trigger lower right here. Alright, it's in about 5 seconds. Let's see what happens. There it is. There's the news candle. You can see it's a little crazy. We did get a bullish trigger here. Still don't like it. You can see we're stuck in this. I drew this line here, and we're having a hard time getting above it. I also need to draw this line now. So we're actually in a very tight wedge, so something is going to give very, very soon. Yeah, it's a combination between computers. I mean, most of the trading you're seeing here are done by computers. It's all algorithmic trading. So yes, computers. I have a bearish trigger here now. A lot of the setups that are occurring today are just too wide. The rejection at 600 here would have worked for 15 points, but we're trying to be more disciplined with our entries today. In fact, that's kind of the thing I want to do moving forward. Yesterday we had a frustrating trading day, and say a third of the stop losses could have been avoided, so maybe even half. So I'm just being more conservative with where I want to take my entries. There's really no need to rush. Like, there's plenty of trades, plenty of opportunities. This one would have worked again, but again, I don't like that we're still above the standard deviation level. You could see there's a lot of buyers here with all these wicks. And then I don't like buying it here either, because we have VWAP in the way. So like, the range is just a little tight right now. So this did trigger to the upside. I mean, this move theoretically should get you back to VWAP. And there it is. If we didn't have VWAP here, if we didn't have both EMAs, or at least a 34 EMA above our heads, this would have been a trade you take higher. This is what I mean by being a little bit more conservative with my entries. Like, I'm trying to have all the things aligned for my system to work. Yesterday and the day before, I was probably taking trades where only a few things were aligning, not everything, and so it made for a lot of mediocre setups. This trend line actually now moves to look like that. We did also trigger lower here, but again, we're above the EMAs, and the target is underneath 600, so this is not a high probability setup either. Even if it goes down, it works. It's just not a high probability setup. think the other thing too mentally is that when you start losing money and you try to play catch up, that's the problem. You're playing catch up, right? And mentally you can get into this space where you are taking setups just to get into a setup, just to see if you get your money back, and that's not a good place to be. And unfortunately, that was what happened yesterday. I think what happened last week on Thursday. So I want to minimize that. I don't want to do that anymore. Okay, so we triggered to the upside and then stopped out the bearish trade, which was a low probability setup to begin with. Although theoretically speaking, we're still in this bearish trade. I forgot about this one. We haven't stopped out of this one yet. We have 5 minutes before 10 o'clock. We do have 10 o'clock news. But you can see up here, we are in an area of resistance, right? We haven't been able to get above this downward trend line. We have potentially a double top, not quite. And so if the buyers really want to get things going, they have to break this zone. But what the buyers do have going for them is they're above VWAP now, and they're above the EMAs, so it's looking more bullish. All right, bearish trade stopped out. The bullish trade hit target. We can delete these lines. Did we break this high too? We did. Okay, so then the golden ruler also moves up. So the bearish signal here. We are at the top of the range, so I don't like profit taking would be completely natural at this point. There it is. We're back at VWAP. What are we going to do here? I think I will place a buy at VWAP now. At this point, I actually don't want it to come back down, so it's okay. This trade can leave without us. It's fine. We do have this upward trend line here. We have a little over a minute now before 10 o'clock news. Okay, we did hit the target on the bullish trade. We also get to move the golden ruler up underneath. All right, this is the 10 o'clock news. We're pushing higher now. I've lost track of where the runner would be. The runner would be right here. Looks like 700 is where the buyers want to take this. See what happens up there, if we get up there. Okay, so we made it to 700. Are we gonna get rejection now? Profit taking? Are we gonna get continuation to the upside? We close right at 700. Interesting. Okay, looks like if it wants to come back down to 700, I will grab a buy. This may leave us though. 700. See if it wants to calm down and then we go back up. We need that bounce up right here. We need buyers to defend 700. That's exactly what's happening. Keep going up. Let's go. We're almost there. All right. I think I got 8 points on that one, or a little over 8 points. So 160 bucks. Maybe more. I'm not going to test it again. Although if we did buy the bounce again, it would have worked. It's okay. I'm fine with that. What's funny is we're also in this bearish trade here too, so we got 2 trades going on at the same time, and makes it for sloppy, choppy action. This one didn't quite hit 15, almost 14.75. All right, and this was what I was worried about when I was trying to get in potentially a second time, is this rejection that you see here. So that's why I didn't get into it the second time. We do have a high and a lower high, so we're going to mark it. The bearish signal did work. Okay, so this did trigger to the upside, but we have this downward trend line in the way. We have standard deviation in the way. So this is not a high probability setup. But I mean, sellers tried to bring it down and bulls did defend. So there's something to say about that. You could see we went right up to the downward trend line, tagged it, and rejected. But this could also be building what's called a pennant pattern, because it looks like a pennant flag. Bull pennant. Building pressure, pressure, pressure. Goes a little bit sideways or down, and then it just skyrockets up. So just have to wait and see what it wants to do. Two standard deviations is a major level, Tyler. So yes, that has something to do with it too, I think. Usually one standard deviation away isn't that significant, but the two standard deviations is because that's what a lot of the, like if you go on Thinkorswim, when you put up VWAP, their standard setup for VWAP is plus or minus 2 standard deviations. So yeah, 2 standard deviations is a big deal. 3 standard deviations is absolutely a big deal because that is a super extended move. And we are kind of extended to the upside. We do need to regress back down to the mean. So where is the mean? The mean is going to be down where VWAP is. So the further and further away we get from VWAP, the potential for the aggressive move to revert back to the mean. It's kind of like a rubber band. Further and further you stretch it out, it's going to snap at some point, right? It looks like it wants to go down because it's holding that trend line that I drew earlier and the standard deviation level that you indicated, pun intended, is potentially an area of resistance. So yeah. And there you have it. We broke down. It triggered, I want to say right here underneath 700. And we just hit the target right there. I am going to fix the trend line now. Just a little bit here. We did get another signal lower right here, but we have the 1 standard deviation level in the way. So just gonna have to wait. And there you have it, it stopped out. But now it's starting to look like it wants to roll over. Earlier it looked like it was creating this pennant pattern. Bullish flag is what they would call it sometimes as well. And now this is actually a bullish signal here because we bounced off the 34 EMA, but target is above 700. Let's see what happens at 700. Do we get rejection? We're breaking through it. Yeah, and we hit the target, so I don't know. We might run back up into resistance again and fail. If we do break this 719.50, which is the high of the session so far, you might start seeing a lot of buying take place, because all the bears who use this as their stop loss will have to cover. And so when buying multiplies with more buying, you'll see a more aggressive move to the upside. That's if we can break this level here. In fact, when I first started trading futures, that's how I used to trade. I would see where if we can break certain levels, if we can create some momentum to the upside and kind of ride the wave that way. But I don't really trade like that anymore because it's not guaranteed. Then again, nothing in trading is guaranteed. Let's be honest, right? This was the bearish signal here. Probably could have taken this one, but I missed it. I would have gotten stopped out, but right now we're kind of in a tight range anyway. Both sides. Sometimes you see this on Fridays as well, especially if it's not an option expirations Friday, because every third Friday of the month is option expiration. So that was last Friday. Typically on option expiration Fridays, you'll see a lot of movement because a lot of institutional money, they're moving positions related to when these options are going to expire for their corresponding companies. But today is the following Friday, so you might see a lot of consolidation, a lot of sideways movement. We did get this bullish signal here, but again, like what are you going to run? You're going to run up into the resistance right now. Now we have bearish signal here as well. So just a lot of back and forth. It's not very clean. This looks more bearish than bullish, right? We have lower highs and lower lows, right? We are very much in a bearish trend at the moment. But I also see that we're bouncing off of this VWAP standard deviation level. So it's like, okay, I can't really go down. I have this standard deviation level in the way. So you can see buyers are buying it down here. Just makes it for a little tricky price action. But if you can identify these potential obstacles, you just stay clear of them and just let price action play out. The bullish trigger was down here because we bounced off VU up right there. Hit target at 704.75 with this candle. And now we reset. We did break that high I told you about. But look at what's up. Look at what's overhead. That second standard deviation level you were mentioning earlier. It's right there. It's in the way. If we can get above it, if we can get a close above it, I might potentially take a long. But right now, instead, we're getting a rejection. Golden ruler does move up. Did get a bear signal here, but I don't like it. Just because it was still inside this trend line here. There's that stop loss. So we are going to take I was hoping to catch it. I didn't catch it. This was the move. Ugh. It happened so fast. Happened so fast. But you could see here, we finally closed above standard deviation, bounce off standard deviation, boom, 15 points at least, right? More like 20 plus points. This was the setup right there, and there was nothing in our way, so it made it a high probability setup as well. Because the measured move was 19 points. And there was nothing in the way between you and those 19 points. And you could see it just did it. We are in a pretty interesting area of resistance here. I have it marked from this dark red dotted line. I think if you guys remember from yesterday, it's from way back here. There's a reason why I marked it. I think I'll show you. It's on the 15-minute chart. If we go to the 15-minute chart, you can see we are in this supply zone. 15-minute supply zone. And if you remember, supply also correlates with resistance, whereas the demand zone correlates with support. Let's go back to the 800 tick, see what we're doing here. I will take a bullish setup here though now, because we are holding. Can we get that push higher? Can we break? This might be a stop loss. I hope not, though. I hope it goes back up. We've been really patient today. We've been trading really, really well. Okay, can we get the continuation higher? Yep. There we go. Keep going. I think we got, I don't know, 7 or 8 points on that one. I'll still take it, especially because we almost were about to get stopped out too. Alright, I'm going to switch groups now. Probably a good time to reset the mind. Alright, so we also have this bearish signal here as well. So I'm not, yeah, that's why I didn't get the second bounce on the 700. I just didn't like it. But I hope you can see that this is a really powerful system. If you can read the charts, be really patient with your entries and not just take every setup that sets up, and looking at the overall context of what the market is trying to do, which that takes experience and time. I don't expect people to figure that out when they're brand new. Delete this now. Alright, so we did trigger to the upside here, but 750 is right smack in our face. And you can see that rejection right there at 750. Watching this now, Tyler, for like a week, what do you think so far? Like, are you starting to get the system? At least when I'm trading it right. Because sometimes when I'm on tilt, I don't trade my own system correctly. I mean, if anybody who's on tilt doesn't really do well. So we would have gotten into it here at 747.50. We would have gotten at least 5 points out of this trade because it hit 10 points and stopped us out. Are your losers smaller than your winners, or you just have more red than green? And we can review your trades actually later. I don't have time today, but we can maybe next week we can look at some of your trade entries, because NinZaRenko actually keeps track of every one of your trades. You were doing what I was doing yesterday. Yep. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks when you're in that mindset. Yeah, I think for me yesterday, I was on tilt, and on Thursday especially, and I was experiencing a ton of FOMO because some of the mediocre trades that I would normally take were working, and then when I got into a mediocre trade myself, it didn't work. And so that was super frustrating. And then you add all of that up together and it just becomes a recipe for disaster. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, the price action was really tricky these past few days. So if you're learning how to navigate around this tricky market, then you're going to do really well when the market's trending and it's just going in a particular direction and it's just obvious. You're going to take every pullback and move in that direction, right? But in tricky days like this, you just have to be really, really patient, right? Okay, looks like we have a lower high here. We have potential rejection. But then now we're bouncing back up, so just have to wait and see. The other thing I would tell you, Tyler, too, is don't beat yourself up. You're still learning. Like, give yourself room to grow. Give yourself grace. Like, this is not something you're going to learn overnight, you know? It's something that's going to take years to get really good at. Now, if you can learn from my mistakes and other people that you're learning from, then of course that's going to expedite your process, right? But I will say this, and this is sort of like the lesson of hard knocks life, if you will. Sometimes we have to make our own mistakes to learn, and it sucks when that happens. Sometimes the only way we can learn is if we make those mistakes ourselves. And that's kind of a bitter pill to swallow, because those mistakes can be really expensive. From a monetary perspective, from time perspective, from a psychological and emotional perspective. Cool. Are you tracking your wins and losses, at least in a journal, just to see how you're doing? You can create a spreadsheet, at least on your P&L. The other thing I would also recommend is you start writing down your emotions. What went good, what went bad, and what went ugly. The good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Kind of like that Clint Eastwood film. That's good. I want you to actually do your own thing and learn from it. Create your own system, if you will. See what works for you. Good. Good. Tracking is really important. I would also track your emotions too. A lot of people don't talk enough about this, but your emotions are probably even more important than your trading system. Way more important. Alright, good to see you, brother. I'm actually probably going to log off in about 20 minutes anyway. I have an 11 o'clock meeting, but yes, have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday, sir. Have a good one. Alright, the next potential area of interest is going to be 800. Might be able to take a trade here off of this EMA if it comes down. Okay, let's see if we can get that bounce up. I'm going to move it to break even. I don't really like this. Alright, well, got out for like 10 bucks. Wait for a better setup. There's that bounce I was looking for. It happens. Might take a bounce off of this VWAP level here. Okay, we'll see if it wants to come down to the standard deviation level, get a bounce back up, and move to 9150. That's the goal. Instead, it's moving off of this ADMA instead and going up, which is fine. Honestly, it's totally fine. It's coming back down now, though. I feel like we're kind of just consolidating and stuck anyway. See if it wants to bounce off of this now. Okay, we're in. See if we can get that bounce up. Okay, we're going to put this right back at break even. And this needs to just push up now. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I had to step away for a few minutes. That trade worked. Wonderful. Okay. Let's talk performance for today. You can see I have one account here that I traded with all of my groups, made $925, including fees. Let's talk performance. Our win rate today was phenomenal, 83.87%. That's what I'm talking about. 83.87% win rate with one account across all my groups, making 900 and what did we say? $925, including fees. I will take that any day of the week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something today. I was trying my best to be super patient, taking really, really good setups, and it really paid off today. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend. And for those of you in the country that are going to get this big snowstorm that's coming, stay safe. And I'll see you guys on Monday. God bless.